Here's how to know if you're ready, and I mean truly ready, to launch in to the high ticket coaching realm. Welcome back to another episode of the Shoreline Session. It's just me, my camera, shooting the shit, seeing what comes up, and hoping that it's going to be some value to you. So, how do you know you're ready to move in to the high ticket coaching rooms? It's got nothing to do with your certifications, your qualifications, or necessarily even how long you've been in the coaching room. It's got nothing to do with those things at all. There are people that have got PhDs in coaching. There are people that are lecturing it around the world. There are people that are, have products and programs and plans, all kinds of stuff, and they're still not ready to work the high end, right? The high ticket end of this, getting paid really, really high amounts for doing really deep work with usually very influential and kind of people in positions of leadership and growth and stuff like that. People who normally are having an impact upon other people. So how do you know if you're ready? There's a few simple markers, right? First one is you have a clear, distinct philosophy, a background story, a thread that runs through all of your work, through every single post you put out, through every single offer you put out, through every single product and promotion, and through your entire product suite, right? The same core message is there, okay? In my case, that would be, you don't have to be more than you are right now in order to be happy, successful, and free. But if that's ever going to be true for you, you've got to start showing up in the world as all that you are. Okay, that's my core philosophy, and it's in everything I do. Well, most coaches don't have that kind of philosophy. They don't have a message that ties everything together. And so, of course, everything feels disparate, disconnected. And it feels like every single time you write a post, you're scrabbling for something that ties it into the previous post. And you're trying to put together a group of disconnected ideas and try and make them sound cool and try and make them sound valuable. No philosophy means that you have no connectivity, nothing to really tie everything together. The second thing every high ticket coach needs is a clear set of principles. These are the never changing truths, the things that underpin and strengthen and lift your coaching concepts, your coaching ideas, to greater heights, right? And these are things that you can rely on all the way through your coaching process, right? Most people don't have a clear set of principles that they've built their coaching business around. So that's another reason why they tend not to be able to move into the high ticket rooms. Third reason for not being able to move into high ticket is they tend not to have processes. A lot of coaches and trainers that I speak to, they are really, really knowledgeable about what they do. And they're so knowledgeable about it, in fact, that they generally tend to have most of it in their mind, and they're creating each client experience from scratch as they go along. And there's a lot to be said for that, right? To keep in the personal aspect of coaching as personal as you can. But you get too personal and you get too in your own head and not process-led, and we start to realize that we're creating something that may work for Mary but isn't working for Jane, that may work for John but isn't working for Peter, right? Because there's no process being followed. And my experience has shown that the more you lean into process, the more the people that you're making the offers to understand the value, right? They can look at it and say, that sounds really like something that's really well thought out and that will take me from where I am to where I want to be. Without that, you leave yourself in a very, very, very weakened position. So we've got principles. We've got philosophy, we've got principles, we've got processes, okay? Then we start to move into your programs, right? What do your programs actually look like? And are they put together in such a way that absolutely everyone who hears about them can understand what it is that they do, how they work, what problems they solve, right? Do you have a product suite built around one core idea, but that can be embraced at different levels? The way I often speak about it is like, do you have your Rolls-Royce product, your highest end? Do you have your Mercedes product, your mid-range? And then you have your forward focus, your lower end of product that allows people at different parts of the buying cycle, different parts of their identity cycle, different parts of their problem cycle. Does it give them the opportunity to jump in with you and start making some progress? If it doesn't, you're not ready for high end. And your promises, right? Your promises, what levels of promises are you ready to give? We're working at high end. You need to be able to go exactly, specifically and precisely and tell a person what it is that's going to happen as a result of coming out, and not any of this wishy-washy, you'll feel better and you'll gain clarity and all of that kind of stuff, because these are words that mean nothing. When I say exact, specific and precise, I mean you should be able to point a finger at them. If you invest this money, by the end of this program you will be able to, and you will have, and you will be doing, and if this does not happen, then this is my comeback to you. This is what I promise you instead, right? If I promise you a program that's going to earn you 20k in 90 days, or your money back, and it comes to day 91 and you contact me and you say, Dax, I did every single thing you told me to do, and I haven't made the 20k in the 90 days, then I've got to give you your money back, right? It's only fair, it's how it works. You have a promise like that, and it might not be a money back, it might be that you'll continue working with them, it might be something else entirely, right? I don't know, because I don't know your business and I don't know how it's put together. But do you have a promise there that is going to basically help people to make an easy decision about joining your program? Yes or no? If you don't, then you don't really have the wherewithal, you don't have the base framework to really nail the high ticket market. Doesn't work, and that's true of all of it, right? So do you have the philosophy? Do you have the principles? Do you have the processes? Do you have the products? Do you have the promises? Do you have these things in place? If you don't have them in place and you're trying to charge high ticket, you're probably never going to get paid it, right? If you're fortunate enough to have charged it because you're a good schmoozer and you're you know, kind of, you can win people over easy, that's great. But you're probably highly unlikely to sell to that person a second time, right? And once word gets out that you can't keep your high-end commitments, you're probably not going to be selling to anybody at the high ticket mark ever again, right? That's the reality. My invitation to you then is to stop thinking of high ticket as something that you get as a result of, I have to do something a certain way or say something a certain way in order to attract the high ticket client. There isn't this thing called a high ticket client who's just sat out there saying, when you say these code words to me, I'll say yes and hand over my wallet. That's not how it works. The way it really works is that you show up in a high ticket way, right? And really, when I say high ticket way, what does high ticket really mean? High ticket means high touch, right? Your fingerprint is on literally every part of your business idea, right? From your content and your marketing to the images that you choose, to the words that you use, to the way you put your philosophy and your principles and your products and your programs and your promises together, all of that. High touch. If you can make your business high touch, the high ticket part will almost take care of itself. The flip side of that, of course, is you can want high ticket, you know, you can want it and want it and want it and pray for it and manifest it and believe it's coming and all the rest of it, but it's not. It won't, right? High ticket is an effect. High touch is the cause. My invitation to you, focus on high touch and the rest will take care of itself.